like these other niggas either.
This is projection 101. You are a racist man.
Hey, white people, if y'all go back to being racist, we're gonna follow suit. Fuck the rest of these people. Let's put our country first. I land there. Hey, you know what?
Hey, you know what? I think Othello's going to ask a question. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no reparations.
Hey, Chicago, we got it. You're not paying it. We got it. Okay? So, Pedro, I have a question for you. Rose question. Do you think that calling people cracker is going to help people get reparations? Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm from Florida, right?
Hell
White
yeah.
people. Listen, people are laughing. So the only people that are American, listen. Any white person that doesn't think or know that he comes from crackers aren't real Americans. I'm only talking about Americans.
So,
See, Americans know what I mean, crackers.
So.
Americans know what I mean when I say niggas. Those are the people of America. Everybody else, like the Scottish, the British. If you got people from across the pond, you know what I'm talking about.
Redneck country crackers. I fuck with them. Even though they're racist. I'm racist too. I'm black. I know you niggas say niggas.
So, Pedro, no, I don't think.
It's American.
Pedro, I don't use that term, okay, at all.
You should.
Number one, no, I cannot.
It's
There's
American.
no way. No, it's not American. Sorry. I'm not going to use. Listen, there's two things that you and I must understand. Okay? And I want you to hear me loud and clear. There's only one thing. Your fingerprints, your DNA is only yours. You just happen to be ethically biased. Okay? I happen to be Edward. So Edward. Okay? I don't think about group things. I don't think of group things. I think of individual people trying to do their best. Now, if you guys want to be part of a group, and you want to have a collective, go for it.
I'm not black, I'm American.
Okay, so that's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to ask you a question. Because my last question for you. You
right.
said you're American. You said you're American, right?
I'm American.
So I'm an American too. It's my question. Most people know it. What do you, as an American, hold to be self-evident?
Be what? To be what?
What? You don't even know.
I thought you said things. You said, what did you say?
You said, what do you hold what to be self-evident?
What truths are
To be
self-evident?
self-evident. What do you? Because you said you're American, right?
To be self-evident. What are you talking about?
What do you hold to be self-evident? Yeah, what do you, Pedro, as an American, hold to be self-evident?
Evidence is what? Like self-evidence is what? Evidence that I'm an American? What is he talking about? Come on, man. Layman terms. American. Come on. Let's talk. What are you talking about?
The answer is truth. These truths.
Yeah, so these truths that we'll
what do I hold? What do I hold to be American?
No. Okay.
Come on, make layman terms.
No. I just want you to layman terms, okay? Layman terms. We have life, right? You and I, because we were born on the soil of America, we already hit the lottery, bro.
Yeah, I hit the lottery when the first person in my family was born here. I'm an actual American. I'm not like these second generation, third generation. See, some white people, the white people that don't understand what I'm saying, listen, some people think that I care about racism. I fucking don't. American, it is what it is. White people that are from America, I fuck with y'all. All the white people that are like from Scotland and you're just getting here and now you don't use the N word or you don't use this word, I don't care. I say faggot, I say all the words. I'm American. I don't care. See, we put our differences aside and we actually win. That's why everybody comes to our country, because we actually fucking win. Everybody's so fucking, oh, I can't say this word, I can't say this word. I can say any fucking word I want. I'm American.
Oh, no, you can. But, like, I just want to...
And real white men can.
No, I just want to make sure you and I are the same thing. Because, see, the government...
You're probably not from here. Your family's probably like second, third generation. You're probably not a true American. And it's okay.
No, I was born in America.
Okay, there's niggas from Mexico that were born here. They're American.
Okay, hold on. My father and my grandfather were born in the United States.
Do you know your fifth grandparent? Yes or no?
No, I don't know my fifth grandparent.
You're not American. You get this tether out of the way. You're a white tether. Get the fuck out of here.
Hold on. Go on mute.
Okay, this motherfucker's from Scotland. You're not American.
Hold on. your place.
This cracker Scottish. She's not even American.
Let me finish.
Yeah. I'm not. I ain't none of that shit.
No, I have a great conversation with you. Okay?
And my relatives weren't slaves either, so don't think you can pull that card.
No, mine weren't either.
Yeah, I got my genealogy. Who's Haitian? Nigga, I'm not no fucking Haitian.
Okay, guys, let me just finish this because you asked us. So we have life. You and I currently have liberty. If we get to pursue whatever happiness. Okay.
It doesn't sound like you're a true American. Are you one of those birthright citizen guys?
No. How'd you never heard me speak, Pedro?
I don't know. It sounds like you're about to tell me like your family's really from Scotland or some shit.
He's a sovereign citizen, Pedro.
Yeah, he's like, the fuck is going on?
Wait,
If
Edward,
you
you
think-
Haitian?
Why would the fuck would I be Haitian?
No, Edward, not Pedro.
Yeah, Edward, Jesus, that's a black guy trying to sound white. Come on, I know real white people.
Wow.
Come on, bro.
Pedro, I love your delivery. I love some of the things that you said. I appreciate the fact that you kept saying you are an American. You didn't put adjective in front of it, which I love.
Why would I put a dead adjective in front of American? What is black? What does black or white mean? When people say they're black or white, I know they're stupid. They're not that educated.
See, you're following along with me now. That's why I like you. You know, I'm going to just land on that point because that's a great point to land on. Whenever you put an adjective in front of someone, people miss it. So you understand. So no one in America needs reparations from anyone. Stop having excuses. Get out there and learn.
Yeah, only
that
the people that can prove that something actually happened to them or their family.
No. Watch this, Pedro. Listen. Opportunity stands on every street corner around the world waiting to be recognized.
But lawsuits are American. This is what we do, buddy. See what I'm saying? You keep on trying to take the bullshit out of America. We're a bullshit nation. We stand proud of them. I love that we're gangsters. I love that Americans take no bullshit. This is what we are. And for some people to not want us to do that.
You gotta follow out of me, man. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for the compliment.
Fake white people and shit. I've never seen a white person be that fake. I'm like, no, that's not though. Crackers don't talk like that.
So I just want to ask a question. There's folks in the chat asking, who's going to pay for reparations? And I see this point come up often. But I wonder why folks don't ever, we always talk about the government. Why don't we ever address the modern day, financial companies and insurance companies with documented historical ties to the slave economy? How about they pay? The J.P. Morgan Chases, the Wells Fargos, Citigroups, Bank of America's, et cetera. How come they're always excluded from the conversation about pay? I'll land.
Well, they owe us interest from borrowing our tax dollars that we seem to never get. So I got a separate bone to pick with them motherfuckers. It's funny how they always they want to socialize the cost of shit. When shit hits the fan, shit's going good. They never want to give us a fucking return on what they borrowed or what taxpayer dollar.
See what's going on with reparations. This is ideological and political, and what the speakers here are suggesting is they want a class action, no questions asked lawsuit payout by the federal government, blanket, as opposed to individual settlements, which is the way it's going to have to be if it is. But it won't, and I got proof, because this is a motherfucking republic, not a democracy. And in fact, if African Americans after liberation in 1865, and if it was a democracy and not a republic, this country could have become a black monopoly, but it didn't, because it's a motherfucking republic, and the blacks couldn't vote for supremacy or even organize. So if there's any basis of reparations, it's based on that fact that they got shafted after the Civil War and didn't get any type of equity in the government, which they didn't really get. individual participation, but not in the way that the Black Caucus operates now. But the point is, the country's broke. There is no money for reparations. If you want multi-trillion-dollar payouts, you have to raise the debt ceiling. You can't just snap your fingers and pull out a magic motherfucking wand and say, presto abracadabra, bitch, here's your $75,000. That's not the way reality works, you dumb motherfuckers. Come back to reality. Come back to the now. Because what you fuckers do is evoke memories. Nobody in this room alive right now is involved in slave trading. And fucking Nathan, this dumb motherfucker, says, oh, we want the slave traders in Africa to also pay us reparations. Again, this is weird. Listen, stupid fuckers, fucking descendants of slave traders in West Africa are not giving you shit. They're not going to reply to your letters. They're not going to reply to your fucking videos. They don't give a fuck about your fucking political ideological claims, you stupid motherfucker.
What happened to that mouth, Edmund? My goodness.
Yeah, I was trying to help him, but somebody dropped him. Oh my God. You guys, we can always talk about each other's points, whether you like them or not. But what we should not do, guys, is call people's name. I'm just trying to say, keep it 100. Keep it above the bus, guys. Attack people's submission, not their name. I mean, guys, it's very important. And Nye, I would say this to you. A lot of these companies, even though they were tied to the slave trade and all the different things, they did not make as much money as they do now. It's all about commerce. I would like one day, Doc, Matt, let's have a room on the trade part of the transatlantic slave trade. I don't think most people really understand the trade part. I think we like to talk about the cargo. We don't like to talk about the commerce. And no matter what, and one thing that Chicago did talk about is that we are a republic, okay? That's very important for all of us to remember that. It's about commerce. We're a capitalist society, and most people do commerce. Most people are not gonna go against these major corporations because they don't even have the revenue. They don't have the revenue nor the will. And I'm gonna say it again, we don't have the belly in America or the stomach to really deal with all of the injustices that all parties did. And I like what Othello said, going overseas, because I talked about the 4 countries that started the transatlantic slave trade. No one wants to talk about this. Even going back to the supply chain. You gotta go. Got it. We gotta go all the way back to Africa. Most people want to talk about where did all this start? And I need us all to realize this. My dad and my grandpa taught me this. Okay? It did not start on the United States continent. It did not start in the Americas. It started overseas. And some people today continue to try to blame the number 1 country on planet Earth. They try to blame us for all the ills of the world. Slavery, indentured servants, all of it's evil. And unfortunately, evil men still walk on the planet.
And man, you're right. You're spot on. You and NY are spot on as far as like going after the institutions. Even if you look to the UK, some of their institutions like Barclays, Rothschild and Co., Lloyd's, all of them benefited heavily from the slave trade. The ships, the Dutch company, man, that money really rolled in to different European nations in the half of billions. Think about it, it's $500 million in the 1700s. Oh my God, that went into railroads, banking systems, schools. Like that money really raised these nations up. And there's a
black people are fucking racist as fuck, dude.
What'd you say?
Said black people are the most racist people I've ever met, dude.
Okay, no low IQ stuff right now. Hold on.
That's true, dude.
Okay, hold on. And so
Cool story, bro.
right.
What up, Goo? What's up?
What up, Sig?
And so if you go, so everyone, when they go to Washington, D.C., they should go to the African American Museum. Why? At the beginning of the museum, there's a money counter showing all the European nations that benefited and how much they made. It starts with a picture of 3 Moors, and then it goes into the actual dollar amount that each country made. Everybody needs to go to this museum, white and black. When you get into the African part of it, okay, you have to study their slavery. Their slavery never went to the children. So if you were a slave, it didn't go to your children. You were allowed to be a part of the nobility. You were allowed to work. You were considered a human. There wasn't all this like lynching and sex trafficking and all that. It got to that. Not to say it was perfect, but it got to that when they traded them out to the trans-Saharan and the transatlantic slave trade. That's when you started getting the rape camps and the sexual trafficking of children and women and men, the burnings, the beheadings, that whole thing. Not just perfect in Africa, but you were, like I said, you were considered a human. You were treated with respect. All you have to do is research it.
Well, I think we should actually look at reparations in Egypt for the slaves that built the pyramids. Because why stop at 1865? Let's go to 3000 BC. Because reparations are due for all the injustices. And, especially the white people that came through Ellis Island in 1900, they're the ones who are going to have to foot the bill for the British slavers and the African slavers. You are an ideological, political, faggot retard who wasted his entire day on Clown House spewing lies, misinformation, and political ideological propaganda. You are a disappointment to your family. You are a disappointment to your children in the other room that you have abandoned with your stupid lies and misinformation. Go get a fucking job. Go do something productive with your life. This is not productivity, sir. This is a waste of fucking time, and you're a fucking moron. I am complete. I've did my case. Goodbye, everybody.
This is why this conversation is better suited. If anything, if you're gonna have it, you need to actually have some people who are open-minded to history and not willing. But these conversations, hey, shut the fuck up, bitch. You can't even speak half right. So that's number one. This Americans talking, bitch.
I'm trying to switch
Like, give a fuck about you. The fuck up. But like I was saying, they don't have much range to discuss. This is why racial conversations are gonna always come up in here, because they don't have much to discuss. They don't have the mental capacity to understand that Africans did not view themselves as one person. So when you say that black people sold themselves into slavery, that's stupid. These were different tribes, different languages, different practices, beliefs, even spirituality in some cases. So if you deduce it to that lets me know you aren't capable of having this conversation. Furthermore, America, the United States of America, has proven that they're not interested in even doing the research. There's a study by the Citibank, whatever, that goes back to the year 2000 and estimates that racism in America has cost about $16 trillion. Whether that's true or not, who knows? You can also do some studies to see actually how much people were grossing for slavery. I think in 1860 it was about a $4 or $5 billion a year industry, which weighed for inflation today. Weighed for how money is today, it'd come out to about $120 billion a year industry. So if we want to suggest that didn't positively impact our American economy and didn't equate to some of the inequalities we have, that's one thing. Also, outside of slavery, the conversation really should start at about 1940, somewhere around the GI Bill. We start from there, man. You really ain't got all that pushback, but above all, I stress to y'all, man, in a room called Donald Trump, they rarely discuss this man. So black folks, stop coming in here thinking that y'all gonna dominate the way that we normally do. This ain't the space for that. They're gonna laugh at you. They take these talking points and they're gonna run back to their racist friends and laugh. So you can't have a good faith conversation about this. Ask them about some relevant information, and it's maybe 3 or 4 of them that can actually articulate.
So Rob, can I ask you a relative question?
No.
Man?
I love that.
Wait a second.
immediately contradicted itself. Well, you can just ask the question, Elliot. You don't have to. You don't need my permission.
Right to skin.
No.
You just said you want to talk about it, but now you don't want to talk about
You
it.
don't need my permission. I said no because why the fuck you need to ask me to ask a question? Just ask the question.
Okay.
You want to know if you have a conversation.
Can men get pregnant?
No. So this is why I don't want to ask your questions because you ask stupid shit like this.
That was stupid?
It's beyond stupid to suggest that men can get pregnant.
Really? Wow. So do you know that's the same thing when it comes to reparations? We're not going to ever we can talk about that.
I mean, did you not hear me in my first part say let's stop talking about this?
I heard you.
I actually don't think we're going to get reparations.
I heard you, but
So I don't understand why we continue to beat on the dead horse.
I fundamentally disagree with you, Mr. Edward and Rob. I think we are going to get reparations. We just have to wait for the last generations to really just weed themselves out. That's really what needs to happen, unfortunately. And what that's what that's going to then have to unfortunately also mean is that the people that are still alive, that have actually lived through and have suffered through the real oppressive legislation, the Social Security legislation, the Labor Standard Act of 1938, all of the lending program discrimination, the highway where they just, what was it called, the highway in the 50s, where the federal interstate just ripped through the urban neighborhoods, affected, the Housing Act of 19, it's also going to be the GI Joe, the GI Joe bill, right? The benefits, the mortgage benefits, the readjustment, the GI Joe. Okay, wait, I'm not done. All of this stuff. All of these that were in the night, they were talking the 1900s, the people that are like, they're also not going to be able to benefit from it, unfortunately. But I do believe that our I think that by having these conversations, even though we don't like to admit it, I think that it really lends to exposing how much racism and structural racism existed, and it exposes it, and it does wake us up, and it says, hey, look, we're not a needy country. We're really not. We're really we live in abundance, and we're going to get to the point where we're going to say, yes, definitely. We want, as soon as we weed out the last bit of the generations, and no offense, but you know who you are, them out, then everybody's going to be able to say, hey, look, this is my American family. Absolutely. Let's create a new deal. Let's create a new deal for all of the people that were excluded. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, and we live in abundance.
Oh, it's the right thing to do.
I know. Yes.
No, I know, but you know why, Dima? Because you want to kill off the baby boomers. You want to kill off the generation that came before you. Aren't you glad people?
The white ones? I'm not going to say. Well, that's who I'm talking about.
No, Bima, why would you want to kill off white people?
I don't want to kill them off. I'm saying that the ideas,
not quite.
They're the ones that are holding us back. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that those are the majority of the people that we don't have these same bullshit ideas. My generation is more like, hey, look, yeah, we live in a great country. Let's fix this shit once and for all. They fucked it up. We're going to fix it, right? We're not going to just pass it on to the next generation. We're not going to be greedy. We're not going to be like, I don't want you to have it because I don't want you to have it.
Okay, Bima, I want you to hear yourself. Okay? You have
go to Jack Kitover's Instagram to hear how retarded you are.
Okay? Which is kind of crazy for me that you actually believe that white people would have to be killed off for people to get.
Well, why do you keep saying killed off? I'm not saying killed off.
That's what you're saying?
No, hold on.
Kill off, same thing.
I corrected you and I said, I'm not saying killed off. I'm saying the idea. Okay?
Thank you.
The ideas of the old.
Bima, you don't think that they've raised some people in this generation?
When that's gone. Okay?
You don't think that ideology has seeped into this? You don't think that some of those people that have raised that from that generation haven't raised people in this generation?
Yeah, I think that we raise things in this generation, Rob, that we actually believe old.
That is indirect.
Okay? No one owes anybody. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say is that as a black American, I
I do agree. First off, I do agree with what the last point Rob just said in terms of they raise people up in this generation. They absolutely do. One thing about white people, especially if you live in the South, you understand. I live in the South. You gotta understand that they view like the Confederacy and things like that. They view that as heritage. So that's something that they carry on. They carry them legacies on. They teach their kids about the Confederacy. They teach their kids about how their great grandpa, fought in World War I and World War II, and they understand and know all of the things that their ancestors did. They know if their ancestors had slaves or not. They know these things, right? They ancestors are just the same way our people teach us our history is the same way they teach in their history, right? And this is what I come to realize about white folks. It's just that they're very aware of their racist past. They're very aware of their racist history. It's just that they're not going to tell you that they're very aware. They're going to continue to play oblivious. They're going to continue to act like they don't know racism exists. They're going to continue to act like they don't know systemic racism exists. They're going to continue to act like they don't know that they have white privilege, all the while they do know these things. They just don't want to know that they have these things because if you know, they want to confuse you.
Yes.
That's why you need total cracker. Just fuck those leech demons. You're no good.
Huh? Let me finish. Let me finish, please. They want to get you to believe that it doesn't exist, so you won't fight for what you need to be fighting for. They're going to act like it doesn't exist. Now, the thing is this, right? As it pertains to reparations, me as a Black American and everyone who is a Black American, why would we be mad, get upset, and tell other Black people who's actually really, really fighting for reparations to stop? Especially if it's going to benefit us as people. If our ancestors finally get their just due and we get paid what our ancestors should have gotten paid, why would we tell them to stop fighting for that? That don't make no sense. They just might get it for us if they continue to fight and if more of us continue to fight. So fight on, brothers and sisters. Keep fighting for reparations.
Did you go to college? I asked you a question. Did you apply to University of College?
See, here
What does that matter?
Just hold on. Let me roll with it.
Exactly. Here I go with the
Yeah. Did you apply to college or university? I'm gonna ask you probably yes or no, whatever. I don't care. If you said yes, I'm gonna ask you. Did you get affirmative? Did you get affirmative action?
Absolutely not. Everything that I earned on my own.
Hey,
I have seen people
just deflect. Don't answer these questions, brother. Don't do it. Don't let these clowns play you.
That's right.
Don't let these clowns play you.
Let me say this.
You can get into an Ivy League school with a C+ GPA.
Sam, hold on. It's proven, and you can go look this up, bro. It's proven that affirmative action has helped more white women.
Oh, here we go.
Ever helped Black people. That's a fact.
I have seen with my own eyes a Black man get
There's
into
more reason we should get rid of it.
How about this, y'all?
with a B-
Before season is about to start back,
2.7 GPA.
it's gonna be a great football season, man. We not
That's
listening to
reparations.
mediocre whites
That's
to us about this.
reparations.
Did you?
But that benefited your wife.
Wasn't my wife, dude.
Yeah, that benefited white women disproportionately. DEI.
Oh my Lord, is anyone gonna believe this crap?
Yeah, just Google
It's
it.
actually
But Othello, but that doesn't mean it worked though, right? Because it was meant to support that demographic, right?
You understand data. And did you go
For 50 years, you had affirmative
No
action.
joke.
Guys,
2006 is
if affirmative action and DEI
Why was
actually worked
affirmative
for what it
action
was supposed to work for, then why was it a problem?
Why was it needed?
It was needed.
I don't think it was
Yeah,
needed.
sure it was.
Why was it needed?
Absolutely, but 50
that ought to be
years.
the question. That ought to be the question.
You had
In
50
the
years
greatest
to
nation, in the most fair and most, a nation that comprises itself of being a Christian-like nation, why did they need affirmative action?
Yeah, to kind of level up the game.
Because this nation was built on inequality. It's that
Okay, so
simple,
we got
guys.
50 years of reparation. Now you
No,
don't
it's
want to.
still happening though.
Now,
This is the thing.
you got 50
Unfortunately
years,
for you guys,
50 years
you
of
guys
affirmative
only
action.
accept it. You guys only accept it.
I don't
You
hear,
guys
I don't
only
hear
accept
when my
it.
friends were black doctors making $400,000 or $500,000 a year.
You
I don't
guys,
hear
you
them
know that there were
complaining.
black people in the
I
40s
don't
and
hear them
50s
complaining
that
when
became
they're
millionaires.
lawyers. I don't hear them
You know that
complaining,
happened?
making $200,000,
You know
$300,000 a
that
year.
Madam
I don't
C.J.
hear them
Walker
complaining.
became a
What I
millionaire.
hear are folks who didn't go and study that little bit of extra, and now they're complaining. Wait a second, I couldn't get into a school with
Nobody's
a C
complaining.
GPA.
I'm asking you, why
I
did
had
they
a
need
D. I had a D GPA.
Why did they need it?
Now give me some money.
Did you get here on a green card?
No, punk. I was
Are you
born
a
and
birthright
raised here,
citizen?
and I worked my ass off.
Look, Sam,
You think people ain't working their ass off?
Sam is unintelligent.
I got 4 degrees, you
What do you
moron.
think, Sam?
Sam
What do you
can't
think,
even have
Sam?
this conversation
How much
with
debt
you
do you
And I
have,
didn't
Sam?
have affirmative action. And I'm a
How much
minority.
debt do you have, Sam?
Sam,
I
you
got
can't
zero
even
debt.
Sam, you're clearly not intelligent. And you cannot
I'm
have
clearly not intelligent anymore. I got a medical
brother.
degree. I got an MBA. I got a
But
master's.
you're sitting on this
I'm a
app
double
doing this.
digit
I don't think you
millionaire.
have all of
You're the
those
punk.
degrees,
You're
Sam.
not
You're the
even
lazy
intelligent.
punk who couldn't
You're
study.
back.
Just study
I
a
don't
little
believe you
bit.
have all of that,
Study a
Sam.
little bit in school.
You got a medical degree and an
Yeah,
MBA.
not everybody went to school. There were some people, you know, trades.
You got
Hold on, go
affirmative
back.
action.
Hold on, hold on, y'all. He said he has a
Like,
medical
you could have gone
degree
to Ivy League
and
schools with a C
and
plus
an MBA.
GPA.
Bro, first off,
What school did you go to, Sam?
because you went to college don't make you better.
What school did you go
Well,
to,
how are
Sam?
you gonna get hired a good job
Sam,
if you can't
what
show
school did
some
you
sort
go
of
to get your 4
competency?
degrees?
Get some competency.
What? You don't have much because you said you have a medical degree and an MBA. Where did you go to college or university?
It's none of your goddamn business where
Why
I
did
went.
you ask that brother that first
delivered.
question then?
I did my job.
Why did you ask that? Why did you ask that
Because
brother that first
When
question?
I'm hearing 50 years of affirmative action, now I hear the guys were the leftovers who couldn't deliver in the school on the academics.
So you have
give me $1
4
million.
degrees.
Give
You
me
have
$1
4
million.
degrees with no debt.
What are you talking about? Give you $1 million
And you
each one of you.
sitting,
What
and
are
you sitting here on this
You're a
app
moron.
with 4 degrees.
You're a
And no
moron,
debt.
dude.
No,
Get up
you're
on your
a moron
IQ.
for suggesting that you
Study.
have that amount of
Be
education.
something of value to
we're
the
dumb enough to
society
follow
that
for it.
people will hire you and pay you money for it.
Dumb fuck.
I just want to say,
9 out of 10
college is a fucking scam.
You
I don't suggest nobody to go to fucking college. That shit is a scam.
Don't push that type of agenda.
And then
That's
on
just how I
that,
feel.
bro, they got
I
like
feel that shit like a scam.
Hey man, look, for black folks, we could talk like that, man, but we actually need education in America. We don't have the benefit of being mediocre half the time and can fall into shit. So we actually need education, whether it's a trade school or a university or college. Like, we need education. We should never speak ill against education. They work actively to try to avoid us being educated. That ought to tell you something.
I don't understand, bro. Yeah, it's fucking with you guys.
That's the thing.
He's a good guy, but like, no. No, bro.
For 4 years and you.
Education is science, not bullshit racism.
One second, Peter.
Physics, mathematics.
Peter, 1 second.
College is not a scam, man. I want y'all to stop pushing that lie.
Bro, can I please finish speaking? So what I'm saying is, you go to college for 4 years, man, and you acquire all this debt. So, in my opinion, right, I'm not against college. I went to school, but the thing about it is, that if you're not going, like, just how, like, the elders told me, like, don't major and don't minor, and now you get all this debt, and you're barely going to be able to use your degree, right? If you're going to go to college, you need to be going to college for something that matters. Like, okay, I want to become a lawyer. I want to become a doctor, right? That's in my eyes. Like, don't go to college for something that, you know what I'm saying, that ain't really worth. It's going to acquire all this debt, or just go to community college.
You know you're going to acquire more debt being a doctor.
That's what I'm saying, though. But it's worth it. That's
if you keep it a buck. No, what you're saying is just factually incorrect. What you're saying is factually incorrect.
It is very expensive.
No, what you're saying is factually incorrect. The labor numbers will tell you that people with 4-year degrees out-earn people that don't have them in most cases. So like what you're saying is just factually incorrect. Now this is your opinion, and that's fine to have your opinion.
You're not listening to what I'm telling you.
Because it's not worth listening to right now.
No, it is, because it's the fact that, especially if people in our community, it's the fact that the people in our community that go to college have higher levels of debt. This is an actual fact. What I'm telling you is, going to college is truly, in fact, somewhat of a scam because you go for 4 years and you acquire all this debt. And then a lot of people go to college, they're not even able to use their degree. This is also factually. Hold on, let me finish. This is also factually proven. So what I'm telling you, Rob, if
what's factually proven?
Both of the things I just said.
I didn't hear the last. I swear to God, I didn't hear that last part.
That a lot of people who get degrees don't even actually use it in their field of study.
I mean, no, that I know.
Okay, so let me finish. What I'm telling you is, if someone wants to go to college, bro, in my eyes, this is the part that's personal. In my eyes, the only really real need to go to college is if you go to college, right, and you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be an architect, you're going to be you want to be a lawyer, because those things make sense. If you're just going to go to school and
what do you think trade?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
What do you think? Hold on. What do you think trade schools are?
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm
saying. But I want y'all to listen to this. Rob, what's the second word I said? Trade schools. Rob, you still have to go get educated, nigga. Rob, you still can end up in debt behind a trade school, nigga.
That's what the fuck I'm saying, but you're not listening.
You still can go to a trade school and end up working in a field that's not your field.
That's what I'm saying. But you keep interrupting me and disrespecting me. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I'm speaking on universities.
No, you're not speaking on what I just said. I just said trade schools are still education. You can still get debt from a trade school. You can still get a trade and end up working in some field that's not yours.
One thing I will say about the law school, and why I would push people to go into the pharmaceutical direction. When the hours come out for a lawyer, they end up working way more. Like the average lawyer ends up working way more hours than they should, because there's no set time as far as like preparing for a case, and especially if it's multiple cases, you might, you know what I mean? Like you might spend 16, 17 hours a day trying to prepare for a case. So when they add up the numbers for a lawyer, the average lawyer, not like Johnny Cochran and these guys, you know what I mean? The money just doesn't make sense. My grandpa inspired me to get into the pharmaceutical realm, because when that you just clock in, do your thing, it's $150,000, $200,000 a year.
Hello guys, I have a proposition about reparations which would make everyone satisfied. I propose that because white liberals are so empathetic and they're
Go back to your
Hold on, I want to address a comment in the chat. Rob, I went to college 4 years, 70,000 in debt, and then I went to trade school, and I learned the trade for free. So I just wanted to debunk that.
What would you say to somebody that went to college on a $70,000 scholarship and went for free? Like, I'm not suggesting that you can't go. I'm just saying that you guys are missing the point. Trade schools are still education, all right? It's not like a
so would you be?
It's still an education.
So would you be content?
I want y'all to just advocate for black people being educated.
It's not the same, bro. But
a trade school, if you don't think a trade school is still an education, then I should probably stop having this conversation.
It's education, but it's not formal education.
I should probably stop it. If a trade school is not formal education, I don't know.
It's not formal education.
This is completely insane.
No, you're insane because you don't
understand yes, trade schools are actually extremely. No, I'm going to jump in here. Nobody lets me speak. I just want to say trade schools are actually growing in interest, and guess what? The trades are paying for it 100%.
100%, Joe B.
Okay, so let's
unlike college where you pay for your education.
Let me say something really fast, right? Here's the funny thing about conversation, education, and trade school, right? Here's the reality. I know a lot of people, white people, right, who go to school. They don't go into their fields and they just take over the family business and make millions. I mean, somebody right now who just went to school, got a trade, was a white person, said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to take over the family business that's worth millions. They get a massive amount of inheritance. I mean, this is this is the biggest elephant in the room, right? When you talk about, you're just talking about income, what you're making, what you're earning. You're not talking about the wealth that comes from your family that's going to pass on to you. That's the thing that we're talking about. Inheritance. A lot of Black people just don't have any real inheritance compared to our white counterparts. It's in the millions. I mean, I'm not talking about life insurance. I'm talking about land, businesses, all these big companies that you see. AT&T, starting in 1900s. All these massive companies starting in the early Ford, GMC. All these type of companies that the heritage that's what they have to pay for. So we can talk about a job, talk about college education, but we're really need to be talking about is inheritance. These companies gets passed on to the Johnson & Johnson's one of them, right? So again, people don't like to tell the truth. And that's the truth.
Do you have a scale when this happens? I mean, does this happen like 2 times out of 3 or 1 time out of 100? That's the question. Because you know, like most companies, they don't survive.
This is crazy to me, and it makes no fucking sense. Lockheed,
That's crazy.
Hold on, wait a second. When did Lockheed Martin start? When did GE start? General Electric. You see, when you don't know shit like you do, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you come on the mic and embarrass yourself.
You don't know anything, do you? You just keep spouting.
I know 10 times more.
No, you don't. Like we proved this already.
No, you didn't prove
so it's like not even close.
Okay, so it's saying Lockheed Martin started in 1995. I looked it up. Okay, a real search says Lockheed Martin started in 1995. Okay, and so the thing is, this is like a turtles all the way down argument, because it's like, well, where did this wealth come from? Well, it was always there. It was the generation before the no. People have to actually generate wealth in every generation. That's point number 1. And point number 2, somebody
So this is what he's going to do till you leave. He's just going to keep talking over you until you, and then not land until somebody actually meets him up. And he's going to be factually wrong the entire time.
I know. I've been in these rooms where you have people doing like all of the Nikki babbling. I mean, you could go to any like the 1804 diaspora, and it's the same thing. And what people have is this concept they develop called generational wealth, and it's this really overworked, overloaded concept where if you want to explain why somebody is rich, well, because they always work. Because they always work. If you're in the city of Detroit, you go to the city of Detroit, okay, that's an example. Okay, if you start from 1968, that's the point at which the city was run by Black people. It was run by Coleman Young. Okay, and they set about the business of like destroying that city, and it never got rebuilt. So it's like if you use generational wealth arguments, then you could say, oh, well, the people in Detroit should have always been rich because they inherited a city that was like the wealthiest in the country at that time. So they should always, but no, you have to generate wealth.
It's a whole city.
You have to generate wealth in every generation. You have to generate, because most companies, they don't survive. So if you wait 100 years, Walmart probably will not be with us. Amazon will probably not be with us. So that's one of the many flaws in the argument. Companies don't like start like at the beginning of time and then inheriting them indefinitely. You know, it was a time before which Facebook existed. So if you're talking about like say Mark Zuckerberg, he had venture capitalists invest in him. You know, what are you saying about his generational wealth? You know, if he's the one that built Facebook, or if you have like a Berkshire Hathaway with like Warren Buffett, he still lives in like a modest house, I think in Omaha, Nebraska, if I don't miss my guess. He generated all of that wealth.
Opportunities live. Are they giving you opportunities like that? No.
If you have a product that somebody feels like they can make money off of course they'll give you opportunities. We have like a couple of Black companies around here. We got Bridgewater Interior, okay, and they make a product that somebody thought that they would be willing to pay for, and that's why they have a company. It's not like somebody just walks up and that person's like, I gave you Bridgewater Interiors. I said Bridgewater Interiors. Okay, no, Bridgewater Interiors, they make like interiors for cars, which makes green money the same ones do. Right? So you know, you make chewing gum, you can make pens, you can make cell phone covers. It all turns into money. But in any case, if these guys, the reparations topic is something that's
This is so just continue, because like I'd like to hear this more, and I don't really want to hear whininess of it.
Okay, so this topic of reparations, this is like a topic that's one among many others where somebody, some academic somewhere, okay, and they'll make up like a
Can you just nod Nathan or just move him down since he's unable to control himself? Clearly represents the worst.
It'll be like somebody, some academic somewhere that'll make up like a stupid concept and they need people to repeat it enough. And so you will have like some people of a certain type that pick it up. So words like generational wealth, people are also talking about reparations. And if you ask them concrete things about your plan, okay, are you saying that it's cash benefits? Are you saying that it's tax write-offs? What happens if you have specific questions about this? They have no answers. So if somebody is cutting checks for like $100,000 for reparations, and you have a parent that's black and another that's white, do you only get a $50,000 check?
Hey, Lee, this is stupid. All right, let me tell you why that last submission was stupid. Because if it's a reparations conversation in America and it's based on the historic treatment of black Americans, why the fuck would a white person be brought up in this?
No, I'm saying if you have
that's
like
stupid.
The question is, okay, at these times, if you have a black guy that appreciates the white ladies, like a lot of football and basketball players do, okay, if it's a check that's cut and they have like some mixed race children, did the kids get half of the?
Hey, were there mixed race children that were oppressed during that time period?
Well, I mean, 100% black people are not oppressed during this time period.
Well, we're talking about that time period because that's when we would be basing reparations on, from slavery to about, let's just give it to 1965 when the Civil Rights and the Voting Act. Let's give it to that. So ask yourself again, mixed race black people in that period being oppressed, if you can hold to that, then your question is relevant. But since you can't answer no to that, I don't even understand why you even ask a question like that.
It's not one way or the other because, okay, some black people married into black populations and they provided some free people of colors. Some of them were emancipated. They were manumitted upon the death of their father. All right, so it's never went one way or the other. I mean, in places like New Orleans, okay, which was a special thing. If you read about this, they would have like people would have like children, and then they would be like quadroons. So you would have girls who attended quadroon parties, fancy girl parties, and they would get placage from like these wealthier white men who wanted them as mulatto mistresses or quadroon mistresses, as the case may be. So it just depends on what the case was. Now, if you were an ugly quadroon, I don't think anybody's paying for you, but are you saying that you're being oppressed because you're ugly or because you got 25% black ancestry? And then, so it's so many things. If you're going to like make the case for reparations, okay, and if anybody's going to invite you to sit at a table, it's not going to happen. But if they are, they're going to have some very tough questions to ask you, and you have to be able to answer them all the way through. Okay, you have to answer them. Like again, I was scrolling through my Facebook feed today, and I think like the last 10 shoplifting / robbery / whatever, okay, in the 4-county area, all 10 of them were black, and that's what you see almost every single day. So it's like, okay, if you have like, so if you had a reparations award, that was going to be paid off, do you subtract everything out of the account, every excess person in jail, every excess shoplifter, every excess whatever pathology is linked with black people?
What you would do,
I'm asking them, do you?
What you would do is you would account for the people who are descendants of people who are directly impacted by this oppression and this government-sanctioned oppression. Whether they're in jail, free or not, becomes irrelevant. But again,
government-sanctioned oppression makes you shoplift from Home Depot. Is that what that is?
It could be.
Well, I mean, but then again, if that's true,
could be.
You can have a conversation with it.
Like, what the fuck does that have to do with whether the government owes these people or not?
And so, okay, and then that's another question. Okay, if it owes them, are you saying it owes them for like the labor that was actually done? Because you have like
saying what they would owe them for could be the labor. It could be the blockage of people being able to access wealth. It's multiple things, but I don't want to continue to. Hey, look, football season starts, man. Who your favorite football team? I'd like to see the Texans make it to the Super Bowl because I think Houston deserves a Super Bowl.
So if you say it's state sanctioned, then you do realize that, like, the real estate covenants, those are private agreements between two parties that say they agreed to not sell to black people or to do those things. So if it's private parties that made that agreement,
still state sanctioned, the government would allow it. You know why? Because the government came in and made sure that you can't do that anymore. So that makes me believe that they could have stopped it when it was actually happening.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what you're saying, but I mean, okay, if contracts are sacred, it took a long time before.
Hey, y'all want me to put this link in the chat between between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Ben Shapiro. Would y'all like to watch? I'll put it in the chat. It's an interesting like debate. Like it's kind of similar to what we happen in this room. It's somebody who knows what they're talking about versus somebody who doesn't.
Okay. I just agree with this. Okay, you got 14% of the population here. Okay, and you would have to be convincing the other 86% of the population.
We're not convincing the other 86%. It's not them that owe us. And I keep stressing to y'all. Okay. Like I don't get why you get this. The other 86% of the population doesn't give two shits about where their taxes are going. They don't give two fucking shits.
Okay,
they don't care about it.
To a bunch of like they don't
give two shits about it.
Live have an agenda. Live is extremely biased and has an agenda. That's it. That's why you can't never have a genuine conversation with somebody who's extremely biased.
Because I mean,
Michael Brad, the destroyer of mediocre whites.
Exactly, like the irony of him saying that shit.
What's up, Brad? You good, man?
Yeah, I'm good, Rob. How's it going?
Man, you know,
it's interesting. I was interested in between you and Lee. I kind of like that conversation until like some like I guess Sesame Street chime-ins came out. So could you guys continue? I was interested in hearing that.
So what I'm saying is, okay, if you have to get 51% of the electorate involved in to agree with this, okay, I just wonder what does it look like for like 51% of the country to be like, okay, I'm going to give a whole bunch of money to people who didn't earn it. Okay,
it would be the same way same thing that happened when we bailed out companies, whether it was the auto bailout, whether it was the bank bailout. But it could be the same thing that what. Hold on. It could be the same thing what happened when we give money to international, different countries. We give tax cuts to fucking corporations that don't need them. Tax cuts have to be paid for. You feel me? So we got plenty of evidence that shows that the vast majority of the population will say goddamn nothing in regards to how tax dollars are being spent, because the vast majority of the population doesn't really care about that. It only seems to care about that when you talk about two things. You talk about Medicaid benefits and this hypothetical reparations conversation. Then people start giving a shit about their taxes.
Okay, so the auto bailouts were a total of $80 billion, okay, and that's for companies that pay taxes and employ people. So if you took that same $80 billion and you divided it among 42 million black people, okay?
Why do you think that reparations have to be centered simply around a cash payment to people?
Well, I mean, because you have
there could be multiple things.
And they have to have multiple
things.
But no, you have to have a value to this. Whatever it is, it has to have a value that's tangible that you can write down that your cost can deal with. That's what I'm saying.
How do you feel about the current administration? What do you think they're doing?
Got nothing to do with my everyday life, to be honest. But what I'm saying is
reparations don't either. So how about
with respect to this topic? If you have like
is irrelevant.
It's irrelevant because it's not going to happen. But if you have this,
that's why it's irrelevant.
But you have to have this topic. There's a price.
Hey, we would bankrupt this fucking nation if they actually gave us reparations on what was due. If we just went off of what the Citigroup study was. They went back to the year 2000. They estimated racism itself has cost America $16 to $20 trillion since the year 2000. So we're not even talking about a time when the actual racism was prevalent, like it was sanctioned.
People that live as a cancer.
You feel me? So quite honestly, you can't pay us the debt that's owed without bankrupting this up.
Okay, so let's see. He said $16 trillion. I've read the Citibank study. Okay, what that's saying is, if you assume that everybody's income is different, it must necessarily be because of racism. Okay, and then
they just accounted for what racism has cost. That's what it's doing. But you just said you never read it. So how are you going to make some type of assertion talking about something you never read?
Rob, I did read it too. So that study is bullshit. The logic of the study is saying that, which is really stupid, is that if everything worked out perfectly, that's what black people would have earned in that time frame, which is dumb as fuck. Because even in your own life, you don't save all your money correctly. It's a dumb study. We do know. We do know one. Listen.
It's not actually being tested.
Rob, listen. No one operates in a fashion where they use all their money the right way. That's dumb. That means that
they're not talking about the right way in the sense of decision making. They're talking about if there wasn't the impediments in front of people,
Which is
this is what these people
which is
could
still
have possibly
stupid because
advanced.
they cannot account for the fact that someone would have got a job, would have worked as long as to retirement, all this other stuff. They assuming that a perfect outcome would equivalent to
They're just assuming that if they didn't have these issues to block people from getting money,
which is why which is why
what's
it's a stupid
happening in
argument.
America though.
Like, no, right, but it's a stupid argument because if you didn't have any obstacles, you wouldn't.
Take it off of 2000. If you take it off the year 2000, it's really not.
It's illogical because you're assuming that
to base it from the year
you're assuming
2000.
that white people didn't have any obstacles either, right? Granted, black people and white people have different obstacles.
What white people did not have
didn't have the same obstacles.
is wide range. What white people did not have, and I would love.
I didn't say that, dummy. That's why I just said we don't have the same obstacles. The point of the matter is, no system works where everything works out perfectly. That's what the study is suggesting, which is dumb as fuck. It's suggesting that if everything worked out perfectly, we would have accumulated about 16 trillion.
I see a system where 100% of white Americans were second-class citizens.
That's not what the study is proposing. That's not what I'm proposing either. Yeah, no one's making an argument. That's not the argument. No, I literally just said blacks and whites don't have the same obstacles in it.
This is not about
that's not what I said. That's not what I said, bro. You're not listening.
This is about what the government has done in place to groups. That's it. It's not about personal.
Yes, we understand that. Listen,
this is not
we
telling
understand
a white
that black
person
people.
that
I
your
got you,
life
Rob.
wasn't.
You're not
That your
listening
life
to
was easy. I know plenty
we
of white folks who
understand
got
that
out
white
the
people
mud.
and black people
This
had a
ain't got
different
shit to do
trial in
with that.
America. The logic is that neither group will operate perfectly to accumulate all the money they could accomplish. Like that's just dumb as fuck.
The logic is there are certain things put in place in this system that didn't allow people to make money.
No,
so
correct.
they make
We understand
estimates.
that. That's not
so they
for
make
the dispute.
estimates.
We get that. No, but it's dumb because
they
it's
make estimates.
listen.
It would
This
be
is one of
dumb
those.
to say
Listen,
that
this is one of
slavery
those
in
many studies that
1860
is just white people in America.
$3 billion.
It's a stupid
It's
study.
equated to $120 billion today.
No, we get it, yeah, we get it,
Mike,
yes.
I wasn't
If people of the past didn't make any mistakes, we would have a perfect past. That's stupid. No, I'm saying, if people of the past didn't make any mistakes, we would have a perfect
It's about
past.
this being the greatest nation on earth.
That's what the study is saying, is a dumbass study, dude.
Can I interject for a second using data? We did $23 trillion in Iraq and Afghanistan for 23 years.
Neither of those correlate to anything else. Again, why are you interrupting? Because you're not bringing in.
Right, for nothing. You just want to make a, yeah, exactly. He's not even talking about
Rob's doing fine on his own. He doesn't need you to drag.
Thank you. You don't need to fucking, yeah.
He's
Like
doing
sidestep and shit.
Go ahead, Rob.
Coming up, Mike, you got
Yeah, I'm just saying, man, look, while we keep spending this shit, man, I can spend anything you come back into why these things are relevant, but I'm gonna stress again that we're not gonna get them. I don't know why y'all keep beating this dead horse. I think it's because y'all don't want to have conversations about what's happening today and whether this administration is doing a good job or not. So y'all was centered around something like reparations. So I'll leave y'all with this. If y'all want to go back to your compadres and tell you this, man, America is not what it claims to be for a good portion of America. It's never been. Now, for some of you, it has been what it's claimed to be. And I respect that because that's your experience. It's been what it's claimed to be. I would ask that you, as an American, start showing other Americans the same respect when they're telling you their experiences were not shown to be what America claimed it to be. And that's what you guys would do if somebody got up on this stage and said, hey, man, it's been pretty tough for me in this place, man. Man, it's been tough. When are y'all going to say, oh, man, well, you know, you're a victim. Oh, man, well, you go to another country. Oh, man. Now, one of you guys got up here and said, hey, Joe Biden, man, I heard for 4 years, I heard this. Joe Biden, he's taking my money. He's going to send the Mexicans to replace me. I ain't hear nobody call y'all victims. Y'all were Americans making complaints, which is your right. You see things about your country that you think are wrong, you speak about it. Then it goes to vote. A lot of times what happens is the votes don't pass because it's really a small percentage of people that's being affected by it, or you come to find out that it wasn't really relevant, so the votes won't get passed. But I'm never going to just tell a white person that their American experience didn't happen. But what happens on this app between whites and some of the people that are similar in thinking to them, they do that often. They downplay others' American experience because they don't want to accept the harsh reality of this bitch. This hoe ain't been fair. It ain't been fair for a lot of white folks. If you want to keep it a buck, man, a lot of white folks are stupid as fuck. Y'all should be right here on the front lines with us, man. And it ain't just about reparations.
Hey, Rob, I'm glad
But y'all saw the anger of white folks when they thought their beloved Donald Trump was losing an election. They stormed the fucking Capitol. I would have been down with them white folks if they had been to storm the Capitol because y'all fucking with people money, because y'all fucking with taxes, because y'all sending money to Israel. I would have been down with them whites. But y'all went in there to attack a fucking freely elected, a free election. They didn't do it in 2016. They didn't do it in 2024. What happened in 2020? His bitch ass got beat. So yeah, that's how I look at y'all. Y'all got plenty of reason to be mad too, because y'all getting fucked over too.
No, I'm not getting fucked over, sir. One question I have for the room.
Nah, Thor, before you go, brother, just real quick, Thor.
I've been sitting here waiting for like an hour.
All right, Thor, I'll go after you. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'll go after you, my brother. I'm sorry.
I've just been trying to listen because these rooms, I've been on the app since 2019. The funny part is, why do people of color blame shit on Europeans? Although I don't see no European rooms on here where Europeans are.
Nobody blaming Europeans. Nigga, where's you hearing this at?
Bro, listen, just listen.
Dumbass.
It's always about black men, black women, or what they're doing to us and preventing us from getting, reparations. How are any of you all being affected right now? Some of you all probably living in $1 million house or a $500,000 home, and y'all still asking for more money. A great example of reparations is the stimulus checks. You all scream for reparations.
Shut the fuck up, you stupid idiot.
No.
I'm not listening to that shit.
Hey, you guys got to talk. You can.
That shit's stupid, Viking. No,
Rob,
come on,
Rob, you gotta do it fair,
that
right?
shit dumb, bro.
You can do better.
An intellectual masturbation contest.
It's no intellectual shit that you just said. It's nothing.
Why are you affected?
Hey, man, finish what you were saying, man.
I sat there and listened without making fun of anybody talking any type of shit. Although I'm 42 years old, I like to make every second of my day valuable. Although when I go into different rooms, it makes no sense on how people can't support one another, although people want to speak about what the fuck the government is doing to us. How many of you all actually do collaborations to actually solve the issues that you guys are talking about economically? Because with all of the people in this room, I'm sure some of you all have great positions to where you can actually collaborate and actually make the reparations that you're fucking wanting. You guys sound like the Nigerians from Africa who just beg people for money all fucking day and complain when the solution is right here in the room. Like,
you real slow. And somebody said you Canadian, so you even American.
Some of you all have kids in the background listening to this conversation.
You're not even from America, motherfucker. Your family didn't serve in those fucking wars.
Hey, sir, once again, I don't understand why grown-ass adults come on here to have
Nathan, why can't you just land, bro? Pile of fucking rocks.
Yeah,
I don't understand, like,
land, man.
Literally, you guys are all adults. I cannot figure it out. My room is the neurodiverse autism universe. I advocate for autism. People say we're so stupid and fucking awkward. Although for the last 6 years, it's always rooms of bullshit promoting trauma bonding. Although when it comes to supporting one another, no, I ain't supporting that. No. Let's just hold a room and talk about why black men and black women, all this other fucking bullshit. None of it makes sense. Our ancestors would come back and slap the shit out of y'all. Like, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up, guy. I ain't experiencing nothing. There's fucking AI right now, and you guys are talking about fucking reparations. Like, literally, to the mods, like, what's the purpose of the room? Because I realize mods just hold space to promote toxicity and trauma bonding without building. Like, while Clubhouse is making money off of the ignorance that's happening right now.
Hold on. Let me answer that question for him. He said to the mods. So I don't know if you guys know how Clubhouse works, but on Clubhouse you come to the app and you start talking about a variety of conversations. Most of these reparation conversations that are had in this house is a black person that brings it up. White people aren't bringing this shit up. So you have to understand, if we have a whole stage, most of this stage is black right now. It's a few white people on this stage. 3/4 of this stage is black. So black people want to talk about reparations. We gonna talk about reparations. That's how Clubhouse works. If y'all don't want to talk about reparations, bring something else up.
Thank
So
you.
go ahead.
And then as a mod, I would like to answer that question too. Thoida, I do appreciate the aspect of let's build, right? And I really like the topic of AI. I do. I truly do. But also, as a President Trump room mod, okay, our goal is to come in here to have civil discussion and discourse to improve every day for each other. And if this is something that we could talk about, we could educate each other. We talk about, if you listen, there are great people on the room, on the panel. We bring up statistics, we talk about them, we try to find the truth. Because something else that we're up against is misinformation, bullshit, lies, stereotypes, just falsehoods that so much of us we either ignore, we don't have the time to investigate. There's the whole you learn economics 101, rational ignorance, where we just don't have the time to put it in. So here we like to break down stuff, have the discussion, open it up, and then we like to see, hey, look, as a human being, as a fellow American, what can we do to make each other's life better? And the last thing I'll say is, with reparations, sometimes there's areas that we go into, and I'm not just saying here, I'm saying just the discussion, I feel it could be unproductive. But I think that a lot of it can be really productive, and we do learn. And I really do hope that we get to the point that we can even say, look, we're America. We're such a great country. We're fabulous. I believe, that's my opinion, best country in the world, as much as I criticize it, okay? And I think that we have the best ability to figure out this stuff. And we're getting there. And we like to shit on it. We like to shit on each other. People, we're going to go to a civil war. No, we're not going to civil war. We're getting better every day with these types of discussions. And it's just through seek first to understand and then be understood. So this is something, and the last thing I'll say is the reparations, the bill. I will ask everybody, if we love our American people, which I know that everybody on this panel does, we do love each other, despite what anybody says. I don't believe you if you say you hate, I don't believe it. We do love each other. And the last thing, I know Anthony's gonna explode. I would say, if we could pass something like HR 40 for reparations, which is just to examine the chain, to look at this is just for us to say, okay, look, let's look at sharecropping, let's look at convict leasing, let's look at Jim Crow and redlining and the education system and the criminal justice disparities and the educational discrepancies and the financial stuff and the legislation that happened within our parents' timeline, okay? And let's look at it and see what the effect is of our citizen, and then maybe we could draw a casual change. Oh, look, slavery, citizenship exclusion, all of that shit where only white men were citizens. Then we look at Reconstruction, we look at Black codes, we look at convict, we look at Jim Crow, we look at voter suppression, we look at education, we look at New Deal, we look at housing segregation, we look at all the exclusion from the gender. We took it. Hold on, I'm drawing a causal chain here. I'm drawing a causal chain. We look
You
at.
don't have to say all of those things. We understand what you're saying.
Well then, Anthony, then I would like you to take it from here and explain to me what in your heart would vote, why you would not vote for even the exploratory investigation on what type of effects that would have on society today. Why would you not vote for HR 40, Anthony? Go ahead, take it.
Okay, the reason I wouldn't vote for it, Bima, is because I think it goes back to people feeling victimized for no reason. I think reparations would do more harm than good. I think that reparations wouldn't resolve any issues. I don't think there's any amount of money that would satisfy the people that are asking for reparations. No matter what amount of money you gave them, they would come back and they would say, you know what? You owe us more. That wasn't enough. You think that's enough for us? They would never be happy. The people that want reparations, the people that feel that the reparations is abhorrent to the morals that this country stands for. It goes against the fiber of this country, the idea of this country. This is this is just, it's as wrong as slavery was wrong. That's how wrong reparations are. As wrong as people feel slavery was, that's how wrong reparations are. So, like, this idea that you're going to pay someone, this idea that you're going to pay someone for work that they never did, for people, by people who never owned slaves, that shit is, it's ignorance in the highest form. And people that advocate for that, people that start off with this, oh, let's get this little exploratory committee together. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. And you're enabling there's people. I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't interrupt you one time, champ. I didn't interrupt you, bro. Yo, this idea that you're gonna have people that are going to like that people where the title of this room came from? It came from Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is the person that created the title of this room. In the previous room, I stated that I think that reparations is one of the most divisive things in this country, and if it was actually paid out on a large scale, I personally believe it would lead to a civil war. That's how we got the title to this room. And as it relates to what Thoy said, yo, Thoy, you're my man, 150 grand. I agree with you way more than I disagree with you. But Thoy, to be fair, right? Nobody forces anyone to download Clubhouse onto their phone. Nobody forces anyone to install it. Nobody forces anyone to come into a specific room. If you feel like the topics are toxic or whatever, you're well within your right. Let's not frequent rooms where we think that they're toxic titles. I know, I understand that, like, for some people it can be triggering. I get it. Let's stay away from, if I was a victim of rape, I wouldn't go into rape rooms. That this is it for me. I'm not mad at you. You ask any question you want to ask, but some things are productive to me and some things aren't productive. Listen, I think the idea of reparations, it really needs to be discussed, because I think it exposes people's thought processes or lack thereof. It really does. There's a sense of what does America mean to you versus what does America mean to me? I just want the government to get the fuck out of my way. I don't want the government to give me shit. That's what I want from the government. I think America is a social experiment, and it's the greatest country in the history of the world. And I think there's people that hate America and hate our ideals and want to see us fail. They're the ones that stir up the drama between races. And reparations is just more drama between races. I think you got black people advocating, oh, your kids shouldn't be around white kids. You need to give them the talk because they're not safe. That's more of the strife that people try to cause between races. It's all fucking nonsense. There are people that are trying to disrupt. America's too strong for anybody to come up and fight
still talking. Like, holy fuck, when do you stop?
Okay, cool. So
Usually when I start, so Anthony, I just want to say though, the one thing that you said, the victimhood, and then Free, you could take it from there. I think that you fundamentally are grasping at something that isn't what we're referring to. You're talking about victimhood, and you're talking about that people are never going to be happy. That's not what reparations is based on, right? We're talking about whether we have a government that we want to believe in, that we want to continue to grow and trust and have a relationship with, and if it created measurable harms through things that affected us, slavery, segregation, redlining, housing, labor, education, justice system, that government has an obligation to repair it, to fix it. It needs it. That's what's supposed to happen. And to say that it's as wrong as slavery, I think that was. I'm hoping that was just like tongue in cheek, because obviously
it wasn't
slavery talked about. We're talking murder, enslavement, kidnapping, forced labor, rape, violence, this type of shit, right? Really, really bad shit. And that is not, we're looking to our government to say, hey, look, You need to compensate what people have fought for and worked for and put their blood, sweat, and life
Eating
into.
the cats and the dogs, Nathan.
And there has been multiple groups in
Stop
our
eating cats
country
and dogs, Nathan.
that have been compensated. And if you believe in repair, which I know you do, because I know if somebody were to wrong you, Anthony, somebody were to wrong you, that you would go after them, because that's the proper thing to do, because they need to repair it. They need to repair the harm. So that's it. Go ahead.
Beamer, I just stress this again, man.
What country are you from again?
Goddamn, all the shit.
I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York.
What's your
Yeah, I can hear it now. I can hear this.
All right, just let's be clear. I
Let's
was
not
born
get
in
into all that
Brooklyn,
shit,
New
man.
York.
Whether we agree with Yo Dog or not, Yo Dog is a nigga, man. I mean, it's just what it is.
100% nigga. All right. I just want to respond to what Beamer said. She addressed me directly. I want to respond to what Beamer said. All right.
Go ahead, Anthony. You got it, brother. I will go after you.
I appreciate you, Free. Yo, Nathan, go eat some cats and dogs, man. Yo, Nathan, you're so full of shit, man. Yo, listen. Look, back to yeah, okay, that's all good. It's all good. Eat the cats and the dogs, nigga. Yeah, so anyway, Nathan, man, it was pure comedy. Yo, Nathan, I don't mean you any harm. I got nothing but love for you. I wish you nothing but the best, bro. Let's just be clear about that. This is Clubhouse shit. It is what it is. All right, we talking shit on the app. Yo, Beamer, listen, man. I know you mean well. I know you